Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar. We'll be discussing how a chatbot can increase employee engagement and productivity. Main focus today will be showing Oracle Cloud HCM and PeopleSoft customers how the Oracle Digital Assistant offers the out-of-the-box skills and customizations that they can leverage to do just that. Here are the speakers for today's webinar. I'm Jason Lehman, Marketing Team Lead at Fishbowl. Happy to be joined by our chatbot and Oracle Digital Assistant expert and team lead, Scott Wall. Hi, Scott.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
Scott will be showing some demos of digital assistants, and he will join us again in about 7 minutes. So here's the agenda for today's webinar. I'm going to give an overview of employee experiences today and how those experiences are providing business drivers to leverage a chatbot or digital assistant. I'll then provide a brief overview of how conversational experience driven by digital assistant can be utilized right from your company's HCM application and or mobile device, intranet, or social channel. Also share a success story of a customer using a digital assistant with PeopleSoft HCM, and then I'll turn it back over to Scott for the demos. To finish up, I'll tell you a little bit more about Fishbowl Solutions and how you can partner with us for your digital assistant implementations. So, if you haven't heard already, the conversational experience is here. While the size and scope of such experiences are different from organization to organization, the fact remains that companies are looking to leverage chatbots, digital assistants to inform, engage, and answer questions posed by their employees, partners, and customers. And this market's growing. In fact, by 2022, 70% of workers will use a conversational platform to assist with their jobs in some fashion. However, the path to successful conversational experience can be very bumpy. We'll discuss this more later, but a chatbot cannot just be turned on and just expected to work and meet employee expectations. So while 84% of human resources leaders feel conversational experience is important, only 43% of them feel like they're ready today. Because there's a lot at stake. Organizations want to reduce costs and improve overall engagement, because without automation, companies will still be paying for the cost of a support ticket, which can range from self-service tickets at about $2 a piece compared to $104 each for tickets that require more IT support, and even tickets upwards of $200 for field support. And timelines and quality are a factor. It takes about 24 hours today to provide a first response to an internal support ticket, and that's provided by one of the leading customer service ticketing companies called Zendesk. So employees could be waiting around to help with their computer issue, so loss of productivity obviously will occur. And this can lead to disengagement. Right now, 51% of employees are unengaged, and 17% of those are actively disengaged, so 68% overall. This is really compounded by too many questions to answer, inconvenient procedures, which lead to making bad decisions due to lack of or inability to find information. So Oracle's focused on creating better and more human experiences for your people and the jobs they do. They believe it should be easy to interact with HCM technology, like having a natural conversation with another person. You don't have to know where exactly to go to perform any given task. Instead, you use your channel of choice, voice, SMS, social collaboration apps like Slack or Facebook Messenger to ask your question. And Oracle's purpose-built digital assistant will answer them on the fly or direct you to the right point in the application. And these are experiences that are personalized. Integrating the digital assistant with Oracle Cloud HCM or PeopleSoft HCM enables you to surface more relevant content and answers to the user, which help keeps them engaged. So employees really have the power to use the digital assistant while on the go on their mobile devices. These digital assistants have been designed for HR, empowering the workers to self-service, to complete tasks so they can focus on their jobs instead of administration. So let's highlight that customer who's been successful with implementing a digital assistant. They're a well-known theme park and resort that employs around 2,500 people at their main location. Most of these employees are part-time or seasonal and under the age of 30. This theme park needs their employees to be well-informed, and they want to provide the best customer experience as possible. So they're under a lot of competitive pressure as well to attract and retain these employees. So they wanted to provide all the best resources that were possible to keep their employees productive and engaged. The problem was that the current resources were falling short. The company has an employee portal where employees could search and navigate to try and find information, but most of the time they didn't find what they were looking for. Furthermore, the portal didn't offer the best mobile experience. Additionally, schedules for employees weren't easy to find and could be in flux. So a common problem that was happening was the employees would get to the park and they would be unsure of their schedule. where they're going to be working for the day. So to get their schedule, they had to call into the HR help desk and wait for an answer. They could also choose to walk over 1 mile to the HR service center, located at the back of the park, and wait in line to talk with an HR staff member or use a kiosk. And a lot of questions or tasks they wanted to complete weren't complex. So most were to check on the schedule, update personal information, change their bank, or even check on their paycheck. So to get answers to these simple and common questions and provide a better mobile experience, this customer integrated the Oracle Digital Assistant on their employee portal as well as an SMS version for mobile. Now employees can use the digital assistant to complete tasks and update information enabled by the integration with PeopleSoft HCM. They can also create service tickets, which are integrated with Oracle Service Cloud, and search the Service Cloud knowledge base. So by using the Oracle Digital Assistant integrated with PeopleSoft HCM and Service Cloud, this customer has been able to reduce HR-related tickets, anticipating over a 30% reduction. Additionally, the digital native workforce that they employ, they now feel that they have a virtual employee assistant. So every employee has this virtual assistant to help them with their jobs, which has gone a long way with keeping employees happy and therefore their customers as well. So let's see what a digital assistant could look like. I'll turn it over to Scott and he'll show you 3 different use cases for the Oracle Digital Assistant, what is available as a skill out of the box for Oracle Cloud HCM, another digital assistant that can be integrated on an employee portal or website, and help with service requests. And lastly, the example of the customer success story I just shared. So with that, I'll turn it over to Scott.
Thanks, Jason. Hello, everybody. For those familiar with the HCM application, you'll find yourself familiar with this homepage. But if you haven't seen it in a while, you'll notice something new, and that's this chat icon in the bottom right. And that, of course, is our chatbot. You'll notice when I open it, it says, "Hello, Curtis," because I'm logged in as an HR specialist named Curtis. And all that happens behind the scenes with being logged into HCM. So this bot knows exactly who I am. It knows my permissions. It knows everybody who I report to, that reports to me, everything about me that's in HCM. It already knows as soon as I open up this bot. This bot can also be in other channels such as Microsoft Teams and SMS, and will also know all this information, but there might be an extra step or two around the authentication with SMS. You would need to click on a login link. Microsoft Teams, that can be handled in the back end, but there are a lot of options where you can access this bot. A little thing about this UI, this is the out-of-the-box Oracle UI with almost no customizations. This is what Oracle gives you, and it's a clean-looking UI. It's mobile responsive, just like the HCM page. So all of this can go with you to a mobile website or even your mobile app. The HCM mobile app is the exact same as this homepage. And what we're about to see is the HCM delivered skills, so the ones that Oracle provides for HCM, so the ones that they created using all of the powerful tools that HCM has. And there are a lot of different features. I'm only going to show a couple because we'd be here all day if I was going to show everything that this bot can do. So let's get into it. So the first question, let's say I'm an employee who wants to take PTO. So I want to know how much PTO I have left. So how much PTO do I have? And you can see it goes into the system, doesn't need to re-ask me who I am or anything. Just figures out how much PTO I have, tells me as of today. And then another helpful link that it sends over is where to schedule time off. Out of the box, Oracle hasn't provided the functionality to schedule a time off through the bot because that is a more complex process that might be saved better for a form. But it does give you the deep link to go directly to that page so you don't have to click around HCM looking for where that is, which is extremely helpful for a new employee. So let's say next, I want to ask my boss if it's okay to take off next week. So let's say, what's my boss's email? And this is a very powerful tool as part of HCM. So not only does it know who I am, it knows who my boss is, that's Mitch Blum. It knows where their office is, their email, and their phone number, all based on just this simple little question. And it's way beyond this. You can ask for individual people, you can ask for who reports to you. Really, the sky's the limit for how you can look up other employees and easily connect to them with this directories tool. Our next question is, let's say I want to order some business cards because I know I'm going to be busy when I get back. I'm going to need some more business cards. So it goes through a quick little process here. I need 200 business cards, and I'm going to create the requisition. So this is a little bit of an offshoot from the first two things. So it's only tangentially related to HR, but it's still part of this platform because it's part of the HCM platform. So really, whatever your use cases are, HCM does provide the functionality for that. And usually we recommend not going live with everything that this tool has to offer right away. Usually we try to limit to the most useful use cases right off the bat to build some confidence in the product, make it easy to manage for the team right from the get-go so you can expand and have greater success later. Our last use case I'm going to show you with this is providing feedback for another employee. So I want to provide feedback. And you'll notice I have a little typo there, but with the natural language processing, it's able to recognize deviations from what you would normally expect people to type in. So it's still able to recognize that, hey, I want to provide feedback for another employee. And another way that it's good at extrapolating what you mean is, let's say I don't know the full name of the person you helped me. Let's just say I know their name's David. Using that same directory tool, it can figure out all the Davids in this company, which there's a lot of Davids. There's 24 of them. So I need to figure out which one it is. And you can keep scrolling through all these Davids until you find the right one. And I know it's David Buckley, so I'm just going to type in 4. David helped me out yesterday. Great work. Who can see the feedback? Manager and David Buckley. And I want to submit that. And simple as that, you're able to provide feedback from your employee, all from one interface that you're also able to look up your boss's email, order business cards, and any number of things. You can all do it from one interface. That doesn't even have to be tied to this one page. Our next demo is around a limited IT support type of demo. So this use case is around deflecting phone calls from an internal IT support ticketing. So only a couple of use cases here, and as you see, when you open the bot, it provides you a couple of buttons. And we don't want our users to get frustrated typing in, hey, what can you do? Can you help me with my PTO? Any number of questions. So we try to direct them towards the limited use cases that you can help with here. In our case here, it's fixing a printer, it's resetting a forgotten password, and submitting a service request so you can keep your internal team off the phones. You'll notice the UI is very similar. This is just the up-to-date SDK with a couple of small customizations. Took maybe 5 minutes at most to do these small customizations. And that's a great thing about this out-of-the-box UI is it does provide that ability to make the small customizations very quickly. So if we go into fixing a printer, this is a common question for this specific IT support staff, and they keep having to answer the same questions with the same answers over and over again. So we were able to bring that into an automated bot. If we pick our type of printer and say, hey, it's a printer driver problem, we can get straight to the answer that an IT agent would normally give. This whole conversation is all stored inside of the ODA platform. You're able to do that. But if you wanted to have this interview process inside of another system, Oracle Digital Assistant does integrate seamlessly with Oracle Intelligent Advisor, which, if you're not familiar, it's an interview process for a question and answer type of processes like this. And let's say that didn't fix my problem, and I need more support from IT. I can create a service request directly through a bot here. It's going to ask for a little bit of information, so I don't need to bother any live agents. I can send it across to them. They can handle it on their own time. Printers down, says it's a driver issue. Great, so we forwarded through the ticketing system, and this is just a demo, but in our real world cases, we have to integrate with multiple ticketing systems, integrate with ServiceNow, and Oracle Service Cloud, Zendesk, Salesforce, any number of ticketing systems. We've looked at some other ones too. So really, that's another great thing about the ODA platform is that it can integrate with any other third-party system as long as the APIs and the data is there. It's not limited to just other Oracle products. And then also you notice that we did provide a phone number here because we hate to leave our users hanging. We like to give them the escalation option. So if they do need to get hold of somebody right now, need to print something, it's an emergency, they know, hey, you can call this number and still go back to the old process. Our final demo is a little bit different, as you can see right from the beginning here. And this is an offshoot of what we did in that PeopleSoft integration that Jason was talking about earlier. This isn't actually hooked up with a PeopleSoft environment, but is using the exact same types of conversations and back and forth that we did for that PeopleSoft integration that's currently being used for a real world customer. You'll notice that this UI is very different than the other ones. This is built on the same framework as the other two, but this really shows the power of what you can do with that SDK. So we were able to provide some top menu items that we commonly see. So going straight to a live agent, providing feedback, seeing terms of use, get some additional branding opportunities. So big logo here, and even some buttons in a different manner. So we can start the conversation off in ways that we know that our customers are going to be doing, and then still provide the opportunity to type in a message right from the get-go. Let's start with updating my info. That was one of the biggest asks that we had from that PeopleSoft customer. So we click the button and we go straight into the conversation. We get our nice transitions. It all looks very pretty. And here in our real world example is where we provided a login page. We'd click a link, we would log in with their username and password into PeopleSoft, and they would go right ahead. This isn't hooked up with the PeopleSoft, so we're just going to type in a sample user ID here to get our proper information. So let's type that through. And now it's going into our backend. It is actually hooked up with a backend, just not PeopleSoft. And it's retrieving my information, so it knows what I want to update here. So it knows that I am user Antonella Benea. It knows I'm associate software consultant. It knows my address and my phone number. And let's say I need to update my phone number. Let's change that to 920-664-552. So it recognizes that I did type in a phone number. We do lock in these inputs to make sure that they're not typing in what did you have for lunch as a phone number and then put that through. It actually does ensure that you're typing in a phone number. And then you can see when it goes back and gets the data again, we did update that phone number. And we find that's very important to kind of prove it to our users that, hey, this actually did work. We're not just saying, okay, I've updated your phone number and then giving them nothing else. Our final conversation here that I'm going to demo out is going back to the beginning. How much PTO do I have? And you can see I already know who I am because I entered my ID, and it knows how much vacation and sick leave I have. So you can see how we can ask the same types of questions on these different platforms, on PeopleSoft, on HCM, on any number of systems, and get similar answers even though the backends are completely different. And then just like the other one, we do provide the button to request that absence. We like to go to the next logical step to go with their users so they can be helpfully. Thank you, Jason. Back to you.
Great. Thanks, Scott. As I'm going to transfer back over, we did have a question come in. Your demo didn't specifically go through the flow of a benefits type conversation, Scott, but I believe we have some customers that they can look up their benefits information. They can get information on qualifying events or changing that based on qualifying events. Some of those skills are available, as well as just like, some push to when open enrollment is. Can you add any more color around that, Scott?
Yeah, I can reshare my screen here and we can look at that quick. And I haven't demoed this beforehand, so this is purely out of the box Oracle, and usually we need a little bit of customizations because everyone's wording is a little bit different. So let's say, what benefits do I have? And I'm not sure how this is going to respond, so bear with me here. It'll provide the group numbers if you just ask that question. I'm sure if you ask a more specific question, and I'm not sure if you have any more specific questions, Brenda, that you'd want to see. But all of that data that's in here, you can get through the HCM bot, whether out of the box or with a customization. With our live HCM customer, we did several customizations around them. For example, they had their PTO not in the standard PTO module, they had that in a different reporting system. So we had to create an integration to make that work. Even if the out-of-the-box skills gets you 80% of the way there, usually we can get the rest of the 20% there with different customizations. Great.
Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
Back to you, Jason.
All right. So a little bit of what Scott showed you, all those demos are made possible by the Oracle Digital Assistant platform. So Oracle Digital Assistant, or ODA, supports delivery of multi-chatbot conversation experiences. And again, the 3 use cases is really just a very small example of all that the platform can do. So with one digital assistant, you can avoid requiring customers or employees to access multiple chatbots. These are all easily assembled from repositories of pre-built skills, really simplifying the amount of customizations and of the conversational experience that you're looking for your desired use case. They can be used through many different channels, including the ones that you see here, but in no way limited to those. And then there's multiple purpose chatbots that can access and extend, your backend applications. So these pre-built skills can be accessed from the Oracle Skills Store, but customers can also build their own skills. Additionally, ODA can be integrated with other third-party applications such as Salesforce, Workday, Zendesk, and others. And today, more than 35 skills are available for Oracle Cloud HCM, including global HR, compensation and pay, absence and time, onboarding, talent, manager actions, approvals, and recruiting. And there are out-of-the-box skills available for PeopleSoft as well. Some of these include benefits, global payroll, North America payroll, recruiting, absence, employee directory, requisition, and expense. So with those skills and the ODA platform and any backend system integrations that you want to build, you can provide your employees with the types of conversational experiences that they're looking for. They can complete transactions, use a FAQ ODA or bot for common questions. When ODA can't handle the experience, or when they can't handle a request, a simple and seamless handoff can be made to, for example, an Oracle Service Cloud Live agent, passing through all the information that ODA already obtained. And then taking it a step further, ODA can be integrated with Oracle Policy Automation. Scott mentioned a little bit about this for more complex conversations, such as benefits qualification. And ODA can be configured to push information to employees, such as when an update on a computer order has occurred. All of these are possible with the Oracle Digital Assistant. And Fishbowl is your preferred Oracle Digital Assistant partner. We've been working with it since its inception in 2017, and since then we've become experts in conversational design. What that really means is that we design the ODA experience around your brand, your use cases, and your personas. Really designing ODA so that is an extension of your team. We understand the integrations that businesses want, not only from Oracle, but building one digital system that can be integrated with several different systems so that it can perform transaction and complete tasks across systems. And we keep learning. This is validated by our 3 ODA certified associates. And as we shared in this webinar, we have numerous successful customer references. So to make your ODA deployment successful, we work with you essentially on a 4-step process. We first plan and discuss your use case, get into what business problems you're trying to solve and how you attempted to solve them so far. We then build out the user experience for desired channels, integrate security in any backend systems, and the level of personalization that you're looking for. From there, your ODA can be deployed to a limited set of users for testing, and then we work to deploy your ODA to your workforce, but monitor and enhance it, striving to improve it any way we can along the way. And our success has really been earned through some bruised elbows and scraped knees. We can keep you from having those same experiences. We've seen firsthand chatbot projects that have failed. While such projects fail for different reasons, we have learned that it really comes down to 4 key factors that occur before, during, and after the project is complete. And chatbot projects are never really complete. Instead, you should really expect and want to improve your chatbot or ODA incrementally over time. But first, you need to realize that ODA doesn't just get turned on and work like you might expect. The skills help, but natural language processing takes time and needs input. Additionally, business language and lingo differ from company to company. Also, you need good data. Bad APIs to system data will cause problems because you want your ODA to take swings and hit home runs or answer the employee's questions, not try to attempt and answer a question and fail. And AI isn't what you think it is. ODA does use artificial intelligence, but again, it must be trained with data and input. The best projects start small, solving 1 or 2 use cases. So think of it more from a crawl, walk, run perspective. Scott touched on this a little bit, kind of solve your initial use case or business problem and expand from there. And lastly, as we've talked about, you just don't turn on ODA. You can't just turn it on, set it and forget it. Continual training and tweaking using the scorecard to measure success, such as deflection rate, and use some of those questions that are be asked to tune your ODA, your chatbot over time. And when your business changes, ODA should be changed as well. We have a lot of information on our website regarding our services and solutions for the Oracle Digital Assistant, including many different blogs that we've written. So we definitely encourage you to check out that. So with that, I'm going to conclude today's webinar. I want to thank everyone for joining today, and hopefully we can chat more again in the future. Thanks, everyone.